A little over 4 years ago, I made my first tour into the Dogwood Trails Baptist Association. I had been interviewed, I was coming in view of a call, and the first church that I saw that would be part of this association was First Baptist Church, Gun Barrel City. So I've never forgotten that moment. So grateful to get to know you and to consider you a part of our association. Grateful for the ministry that we share together over the last 40 years. I know that you've been an integral part of what God's wanted to do in the Dogwood Trails Baptist Association. So grateful for your church and for your leadership in our association. Couldn't get very far without churches like you. And so we want to say happy 40th anniversary to you. I wish I could be there in person to celebrate, but I know that you're going to have a wonderful day filled with wonderful memories. But just as I like to remind myself, 40 years ago, I had great hair. Now I have gray hair. As time marches on, a lot of things change, but the one thing that doesn't change is the mission of the church. We have the same mission that we had in 1985 remains today. There's a lost world that needs the gospel witness of Jesus, and it needs churches just like you to continue to be a light in a dark place. So thank you for all you do. Wish you great success. I look forward to being with you soon and look forward to the next 40 years of ministry.
Gun Barrel family. Wow, 40 years. When I think back on all that God has done through the fellowship there, I'm immensely grateful because it's not just memories, it's personal. I saw God do amazing things in my life personally. Also in our marriage, we were married there in 2011. You guys saw me through some of my first messages, and you guys were so sweet. I'm pretty sure that they were bad, but you loved me through it anyway. You listened well, and you encouraged. For that, I'm forever grateful. When I think back to my beginnings of ministry in early time, I think back to those days at First Baptist Gun Barrel. You guys helped lay a foundation for me that would carry me through now 25 years later, serving the Lord faithfully in many, many different areas of ministry. So I'm grateful to each one of you, grateful for your love and support.
I too just can't believe 40 years, and I'm just thankful for just the role that you played in my life, in our life, just for the people that are there, friendships that were made that we still have. Just thankful for God's blessing of First Baptist Gun Barrel City.
Congratulations on 40 years of ministry, and we pray with you for many, many more years of fruitful years.
Hello everyone, what an exciting time to be celebrating 40 years of First Baptist Church, Gun Barrel City. Thank you, Pastor Sean, for letting me share this morning. For those of you who don't recognize me, my name is Zach Jones. I grew up in this church, was nurtured and cared for by many people within the church. First of all, I'd like to thank my dad, Pastor Byron Jones, and my mom. Although they were extremely busy working here at the church, they made sure to take time to tell me and my brother about the Lord. Growing up in the church, many people discipled me along the way. Early on, people like W.O. Venable helped with RAs, and Bernice Terry encouraged me to learn the books of the Bible and rewarded that with a free belt buster from Dairy Queen. I can still remember where many of the regulars sat in our first sanctuary. Laverne McPherson and her family back here on the left, David and Rhonda Taylor, Charlie and Elaine McDonald behind us, Ben and Dr. Riadika over here on the right. Many of the church members invited us to go to their homes for fellowship. Roger and Kathy Fowler. Roger enjoyed dragging me around the lake in an inner tube. Others in the church, like Dennis Christian, invited me to go fishing, either in the lake or in a small pond where they knew that even I could catch something. Thanks, First Baptist Church, for not only discipling me up in the faith, but for being an amazing church family. As a kid, I especially enjoyed the watermelon and the catfish fish fries we had out on the parking lot. Growing up in Gun Barrel City, I had the opportunity to knock on doors and invite people to church, visit the sick in the hospital. First Baptist Church, Gun Barrel City has taken the gospel far and wide throughout the lake area, whether it's close by in communities like Tamarack, Del Mar, Spanish Shores, up and down Welch and Legendary Lanes, or in further reaches of the Cedar Creek Lake area like Malakoff, Trinidad, Toole, Kemp, even Peeltown, Maybank and Eustis, and even the rural communities of each of these places. First Baptist Church, Gun Barrel City has made an impact for the kingdom of heaven. In college, I was called to the mission field. Although I was way out of my comfort zone, my parents, and others encouraged me through this process. After seminary, this church ordained me and sent me out to the mission field as a full-time missionary. Now, many in the church are tirelessly praying for my family and the work that we are involved in overseas. First Baptist Church has impacted the kingdom of heaven in some very hard-to-reach places in China, all over China, a handful of countries like Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysia, even the Philippines have been impacted for the gospel. And now in Japan, pastors are being raised up in places, and the church is still growing because of the partnership of the gospel. Now we are able to teach and train up the next generation of pastors in Japan. One pastor who graduated last winter is leading a small house church in Yokohama. Another student just became a full-time pastor down in south of Japan in Fukuoka. Just recently, I was able to share the gospel with an older gentleman that attended an English cafe from our local neighborhood. Thank you, First Baptist Church, for your partnership in the gospel. We are so thankful for a church like First Baptist Church, Gun Barrel City, that invests in people for the sole purpose of the kingdom of heaven. Because of First Baptist Church, Gun Barrel City, we are tremendously blessed.
Go.
Hey church family, this is Jeremy and Carrie Hudson, and we just want to say thank you for letting us be a part of your celebration there at First Baptist Gun Barrel. And we just wanted to take a moment and let you know what First Gun Barrel meant to us and still means to us. That's the place where we were married and started our lives together, and we had our children there, and they were in children's ministries, and really First Baptist Gun Barrel, when I think of it, prepared us for what would later be a time in ministry full time, and then now serving in ministry as lay leaders in our church. And it was just a great, that church just, you guys helped us lay a wonderful foundation, and we're so grateful for the church and its legacy.
And if we had to describe one defining characteristic of the church from our time there, we would have to say that God's people in that church loved us well. They helped us in formative years of our marriage and beginning our family, and they were just a testament to God's love to us while we were there.
Absolutely. So congratulations on your anniversary again. We're so excited that we can be a part. Thank you for inviting us, and take care. We love you.
Hello, First Baptist Church, Gun Barrel City. Happy 40th anniversary. What an exciting time and season for you guys. It's been amazing to watch what God has done there in the church all these years. My name is Josh McDonald, and in 1998, around that time, around the age of 15, I had some friends invite me to church. We had just moved to Cedar Creek Lake. We came there for the first time. I got plugged into the student ministry. I learned and grew in Christ quickly, and even on Sunday mornings, I loved Sunday mornings, got involved there, began serving in Awanas and other places in the church. I was a member there from about 1998 to about 2003. Along the way, after I graduated high school there in Maybank, I felt called to ministry, and our student pastor at the time, Denny Garena, pointed me to Criswell College. So I began attending Criswell College. And in September of 2002, I was licensed to preach there at First Baptist Church, Gun Barrel City. I carry that with me everywhere. In fact, that license is hanging on my wall now in my office. Shortly after that, I was ordained in 2005 at the first church I pastored down the road from there. And since then, I've graduated college. I've been serving in ministry now for about 25 years. I am currently at Arcadia First Baptist Church in Santa Fe, Texas. I've been here for about 7 years. I am married and we have 4 children. But anything I do in ministry, when I lead people to Christ or when we trail off on mission trips, I go back to First Baptist Gun Barrel because of my experience there at the church. God took that experience and has used it all through my life to win many people to Christ and to lead mission trips and to lead a church. And so I am incredibly thankful for First Baptist Church Gun Barrel. I'm indebted to you guys. I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for the men and women who spoke into my life. And so thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. I can't wait to see what God's going to do in the next 10, 20, and 30 years from now, and even 40 years from now. I know that God is going to keep using First Baptist Church to produce men and women who serve the Lord locally and beyond. Thank you.
Good morning, First Baptist Church of Gun Barrel City. My name is Jared Wellman, and I am the pastor of Tate Springs Baptist Church in Arlington. And I understand that you're having a homecoming, and Pastor Sean has asked some of us to share a video, and I'm just super happy to do that, to share with you how much I love your church and how special it has been to me and still is over the years. First Baptist Church, Gun Barrel, is the place where I met Jesus. I remember sitting there on one of the front pews one Sunday morning, and Pastor Booney was preaching from the Old Testament, from Chronicles, and he was talking about that little phrase, if my people humble themselves. And he was talking about what it means to be one of God's people. At the time, I was struggling with that question. I knew a lot about Jesus. I knew a lot about the Bible. And at some point, I started to realize that my salvation was based on all the things that I could do for God and thought that I was doing for God, rather than all the things that He had done for me. And so by the end of that sermon, I ran to that altar and I bent my knee and I prayed. And I remember at the time, the student minister, Denny Garina, came and put his arm around me, and we prayed together. And I prayed to receive Christ, and my life has never been the same. Some weeks later, I was baptized there in the church, and then at that same altar, I was called into the ministry. And then at that same altar, it was so special to me that I took my wife, my now wife, Amanda, there, and got down on a knee and asked her to marry me at that altar. And then a few months later, we were married at that altar. And so Gun Barrel First Baptist Church is such a special place to me. And I am just so thrilled at what the Lord is doing there. Pastor Sean and I are friends. I actually had the privilege of being at least one of the ones who recommended him to you when you were searching for a pastor. And so I love your church. I'm so thankful for your church, for what it's been, what it is, and even what it's going to be. So happy homecoming. May the Lord bless you and keep you, and may He make His face shine upon you, be gracious to you, and may His countenance be upon you and give you peace.